What up, y'all? I told y'all I was gonna come back with a second video, tell y'all about my artist career, my statement, what I do this for, all that, the spiel about how I got to where I am as an artist and why I do what I do. So back in 2020, I was a photographer. I'm still a photographer, by the way. I don't know why I'm saying I was, but I was a photographer going into my senior year, last semester, trying to find a job. Like one of my classes, the final grade was to get a job in the photo industry after you graduate. So I was able to get a job with a tech company that allowed me to keep being a photographer. It was kind of wild because I got a journalism degree and I ended up working in tech. And I got this journalism degree in a world where people don't even care about real news no more. So the pandemic happened, everything get canceled, everything get shut down. My job get pushed back a whole year. So I moved back to Chicago from Ohio. The unemployment money started to slide in. We was getting an extra boost, you feel me? Felt like my personal reparations. It felt like my WPA, so I could create some stuff. Trolling. That was the first time in my life where I was able to think about doing something other than photography with the extra money that I was getting. Because I used to use all my money on like camera equipment and lenses, but I wasn't gonna have a use with them because, we was in a pandemic. I've been doing sketches and stuff since 2017 to relieve the stress that I was feeling from having to be perfect in photography because I was getting graded for it. Getting graded for something you love it's not ideal. So I used to just like draw straight lines and just like draw lines that look kind of like Mondrian a little bit. And I just kept doing it. And then in 2020, I was finally got to the point where I could afford to actually do that on canvases. My friends have been telling me for years, like, yo, you should paint these. But I'm just like, this looked like some IKEA stuff. This looked like some, it looked like some bull. So I was just like, I was downplaying it. I wanted to keep it sacred. So around the time I get back, 2 weeks later, what happened in 2020 May, the George Floyd incident. The photojournalist in me wanted to go outside and document history, but my body was telling me that was not what I was supposed to be doing at that time period. So I had to have some way that I could relieve all the attention I was feeling during that time period. So Michael's now, Amazon, everybody's having them sales for the I was gonna say ingredients. Everybody was having sales for the artist materials. The canvases was like $1 each. So I'm buying 60 canvases, just messing around, just doing random stuff. And then around the time of the George Floyd stuff, the art that I was doing started to feel like it was representing what was going on. A lot of my early work showed lines that weren't balanced. My art is pretty much just abstract lines, horizontal, vertical, super minimal, kind of like Agnes Martin a little bit, but just in black and white. But as I was painting in that time period, the black and white it felt like what was going on around me at that time. I saw myself being those black lines trying to come to terms with my existence in the white world, aka the white canvas. The black lines is just like me, and the canvas is the world. It's kind of it felt like a metaphor too, like as I learned about art, because no matter the type of art you make as a black person is black art. It doesn't have to have a black person in it to be considered black art, which is kind of why I'm trying to dedicate this channel to mostly abstract art. It kind of affirmed me in that moment. I felt like, wow, like this may be something that I need to do going forward. So after all that, the unrest died down, I kept at it, just started making paintings based off how I feel. Most of my titles are just like one sentence. One of my favorite pieces is called Binary. It's just black and white because black and white is a binary itself. I chose the title Binary because the binary could be anything. It could be gay, straight, rich, poor, male, female, and I just felt like it was just like real general, but like it being black and white and being, black and white is like one of the biggest binaries on earth. Also it could stand for good and evil, if you know what I mean, but but nah, it just kept snowballing and I just keep making art to this day. So I was mostly inspired by artists like Agnes Martin, Frank Stella, R.I.P., Mondrian, and those are like the big three that I seen when I first went to a museum. I went to my first art museum in college, Cleveland Museum of Art. It was free, so anytime I was in Cleveland, I would slide over there and it was free. Didn't have to worry about getting a ticket. I saw those and I was just amazed with the simplicity. Agnes Martin had a piece called The Grid, and it reminded me of Chicago from an airplane because the Chicago shaped like a grid, like on a map. It just was amazing because it was like something so simple, but it was in a museum. Like ever since I saw that, I was like, yo, I could do this. But seeing other art, I didn't see like black people being allowed to make art like that. It always had to be something that was like almost a little too literal. It was just like too straightforward, and it had to be visibly black. These past few years, as I just keep learning stuff, I've learned there are many black artists that fall under that abstract category, and learning more about them has been pretty inspirational, and it's been real impactful on like my belief in myself as an artist. I had to overcome the imposter syndrome, so learning more about those artists, it gave me all the affirmations that I needed to like keep taking this art stuff seriously. I've been in a couple shows, got to show some in New York, San Francisco, Oakland. This has been a nice journey. I'm moving back to Chicago, so hopefully I can keep it, rolling back in my hometown. I feel like everybody can be an artist. Like when I took my art class in college, there was like always a definition of like what art was. I just think at the end of the day, art is anything that you make with your soul, and as long as you feel good about it, other people can feel good about it too. Like you just have to have that conviction that you just created a masterpiece. It's not about how good you draw, technicality, all of that. You gotta like abolish that. And that might be a hot take. Yeah, art can really be anything as long as your soul in it. It goes for like across all the mediums. I'm trying to use my channel to show people that. If y'all rocking with it, be tuned in for video 3. Thank y'all for watching. Subscribe if you want to. I ain't gonna pressure you, you feel me? If you rocking with it, you gonna do what you need to do. So, yeah, y'all be smooth. I'll see y'all soon.